What's going on, people? Welcome to this week's edition of the Rants. So, man, hopefully you guys are all good, keeping well, keeping safe in quarantine. Rants, you good?
Yeah, man, all good, bro.
Been banging out Pro Evolution and FIFA.
Yeah,
Not even FIFA, but
Fortnite, bro.
Fortnite. I see you on the
and
Travis Scott link up.
Fortnite and GTA. Yeah. The Travis Scott things. Yeah.
Love that. So much to get through with today's show. We've got the Paul Pogba comments from Rio Ferdinand, from the guys over there, the Beautiful Game podcast, which we'll get onto. But some developing news, which might not be big news, but it's worth discussing for sure. Thomas Partey. Look, there's reports now coming out in the media from a very well respected African journalist, Sadiq Adams, does a lot. He's award-winning journalist, and he says this is, quote, yesterday a close source to Thomas Partey told me the player doesn't want to extend his stay at Atletico Madrid, which we could all probably guess on that. But this is the interesting bit, and is favouring a move to the Premiership and loves the United link. Deal could even be sooner than expected. Starting to believe this whole thing. Now, we're not out here saying it's going to happen. We're not out here confirming things. We're just literally discussing these things as breaking news and as talking points. I mean, there's been talk about Declan Rice maybe coming as a defensive midfielder. A lot of people talk about Wilfred Ndidi. Thomas Partey, Rants, is that, before we talk about whether you think that's true or not, the type of player he is, the type of mold he is, and do you think that we would actually be in for him?
I don't think we'd be in for him, but I think he's the kind of player that we need, innit? But if you look at the way we've bought recently, I can't see anything in that link. Do you know what I mean? I can't see anything in it, to be honest. But he fits the mold. I think he's probably, in terms of who's attainable right now, he's probably exactly who we need. But we won't be in for him. Like, I can't see it happening. I wouldn't even be surprised if they don't even know who he is, bro.
Oh, don't know who he is. Don't know who he is.
That man, the Brexit FC, bro. That's what them man are on. Like, them man are not on ballers like that, bro.
They knew about Bruno.
Yeah, but Bruno was pretty much a household name, yeah. Like captain of Sporting Lisbon. It's a bit different, isn't it? Like he's not one of them players that everyone's like, yeah, we must sign him. He's a very, very good player, but he's not he's not variety. Do you know what I mean? Like not everyone knows who he is. So it's just one of them ones where I don't think he's a realistic target for us. We were getting Sean Longstaff and them, man, and Declan Rice, and you think man's gonna buy Thomas Partey? Yeah, right, bro. Don't see it happening.
What about when if you're thinking about, is it just not our priority? Like all the like eggs are going to be in the basket of Sancho, and they're not going to be thinking of a CDM. And if you can, Rants, I don't know, people are saying that your audio is a little bit low. I don't know if you can turn your mic up or talk closer into it, but a few people saying that you're...
Yeah, that's what I said at the beginning. I was like, what's man's audio saying? Hold on a
second. Okay, sounds all right on my headphones, but let's just make sure that you're all right if you can turn it up a bit.
What about now? Is it better?
Sounds the same for me, but drop a little thumbs up in the comments, guys, or let us know if Rants is sounding a little bit better now. But yeah, what would you say, Rants? Do you think it's more that he's not our priority?
I don't think he's not our priority. I just think that he's not English, bro. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't buy him. It's just one of them things. I think we need him, but I don't think we'll be in for him. There's loads of other players that we could potentially look at, but they're not English, innit? So I just don't see it happening. You know what I mean? You look at the pattern of our spending. I don't see us going to get him. We'll probably end up somewhere else. Probably end up at Chelsea or something like that. But yeah, I don't see us being in for him.
See, the reason why I don't think we'll get him is because I just think our priority lies at Sancho, and I think with the climate that it is, if we pull off the Sancho deal in this climate, I can't see United spending big on a central midfielder as well. Do you know what I mean? I feel like they know that the Sancho link is there. He wants to come. That seems like it's on the cards, and that would be a hard deal to make happen. But if I don't think it's because he's only English.
I see the Sancho deal is a hard deal to make happen. I don't, innit?
You think that happen easily?
Dortmund want to sell him, and we want to buy him, bro. Like there was talk of this being his final season at Dortmund, regardless, innit? Like, and then he had like the little fallout with where he got like disciplined or something because he came back late for like from international duty or something like that. Like everything's not cool over there, innit? Like he's happy, but he wants to come back, and I think they're happy to cash in on him. So I reckon he's leaving in the summer, regardless.
But with the Partey thing, it's like Arsenal really need him, but budget's always a problem for them. Would Thomas Partey go to Arsenal? I think if other teams didn't come in for him, probably.
If nobody else wanted him, he would go there. Like, do you know
100%.
what I mean?
Chelsea, I mean, they've got Kovacic, Jorginho. I know Partey, you could say, is better than them, and they've got Kante. But unless Kante moves on or whatever, you can't see them being in the market. City are sorted. Liverpool are sorted. There's not really Spurs. They might move on in Ndombele, but I can't see them spending big for Thomas Partey. So there's not really many places that he can actually go.
Bruv, don't be surprised, if these guys sign new deals, man. Like, it happens all the time. They use all these links to get more money and then they stay. Especially at Atletico Madrid. Like, there's not many clubs you could go that are better than them unless you're really going to a top club, innit? Like, going to Arsenal from Atletico Madrid is a step down, bro. Like, it is, innit? Like, arguably coming to us is a step down. You know what I mean? So, really, like, it's just not a step down in the size of the club, but it's a step down in, like, the level at the moment that the team's playing at. So, where's he going to go? I reckon more than likely he stays there, signs a new deal. Like, that's what's probably going to happen, innit? Like, a lot of these players do it. Simeone, like, even flirted with the thought of leaving the club to get more money, but no one really leaves there unless someone comes in with stupid money. Like, they don't sell players on the cheap. Look at the business they've done. They're a very well-run club.
I hear you. A lot of people still saying that they can't hear you. Rants, you got your mic. Can you unplug your mic and then plug it back in, or put your headset on or something? I don't know, because something's because normally you're on that headset thing, innit?
Yeah, I'm still in the headset.
Oh, you're in headset? Okay. We're just gonna try and get Rants firing again, guys. I don't know why. I can hear him perfectly in mine. While he sorts out his headphones there, we'll just continue the conversation. I mean, drop a view in the comments of what you guys think. I mean, do you think?
We'll check it now. Check the mic levels now.
Okay, again, I can hear. Okay, I can hear one brother says it's fine. Yeah,
it's cool now.
They're trolling. I can hear. Right, everyone can hear you. Right, cool. I don't know if we had a few trolls in there as well, trying to make us change. Hey, listen, it's lockdown. People got to try and play their to kind of move on from the Partey thing. It's a weird one, because would he complete our midfield? Absolutely. Like, he has everything. Like you said, he's the right player. He's combative. He's powerful. He's quick. He's box to box. Or he can hold. He can break up play. He can travel well with the ball. He literally possesses all those, physical attributes that you want, and he can read the game pretty well as well. He would be perfect for us. I just think with our priorities, I can't see us having a massive window, apart from the Sancho thing. I think Sancho could be the only player we get.
Nah, I think we'll sign two players.
You think?
We still need another midfielder, and we need a right winger. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if we do the little Rice and Sancho thing and Pogba stays. I don't think Grealish comes in unless somebody leaves, innit? I don't see anyone leaving. Maybe if Jesse leaves, Grealish might come in. Other than that, I don't see much. I see two signings.
What do you think about the Rice connection? Declan's obviously good young player coming through the ranks. Done well at West Ham. Got to give him that. Kind of got himself definitely got himself into the England fold as well. I know you're talking about United liking that mode of player, young, hungry, British. Could you see him at United? And if he was to come to United, would that be a positive?
I do see him at United, only based on how we're recruiting at the moment. Do I think he's the kind of player we should be looking at? Not particularly. Do you know what I mean? I think we should be looking at a tier above that. However, he's a Premier League player, innit? And he's playing in a dead team. If he comes to United, it will improve him. Like, he'll be a level above just playing for United because he's playing with better players. And actually, technically, he's very good. Like I've watched him, and he's a very good player, technically. He's not as mobile as Thomas Partey, but he technically is good, innit? But I don't know. I feel like he needs a club a tier above West Ham before he makes the jump to United. I don't think he's levels to and even Carrick left West Ham and went Tottenham, then came United. He didn't come straight from West Ham to United. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that he's straight to United ready right now, innit? Even though I think he's better than McTominay. Do you know what I mean? But
that's what I was going to say. Do you think he is better than McTominay, or are they just two different types of players?
They're different types of players, but I think technically he's better than him. Do you know what I mean? Footballing wise, like passing and all of that, he's better. But Scott's just probably a bit more, I don't know, it's a bit more like nasty with it.
He's more combative as well because he gets about the pitch. I think, you know what? I think Rice can definitely get around about the pitch, but I think the roles that they play within their teams, because Rice is more of a holding. Obviously, with Scott, we see him actually making third man runs. He is actually obviously not an attacking midfielder, but
that Rice would play. Yeah, is the only position McTominay is getting in our team right now. That's why I compared that. Because McTominay has to play DM where he's not playing in it, because he's not getting in ahead of Pogba or Bruno. That's a myth. And even Fred, like, he ain't getting in ahead of him really. So it's like either you play defensive midfield or bro, like there's no room for you as a starting player in the team, innit? I think it's between him and Matic for that third role, like the sitting midfield role.
Because we're going to need that balance in it when Pogba comes back.
Exactly. You can't play Pogba and Bruno without a Matic, without like a Rice type player in it. You need someone that's just going to sit, win the ball, play the simple pass in it. And Scott's not better than Matic at that. He's not better than Declan at that either. So, do you know what I mean? It's a weird one, innit? I'd take him, but if I was given the amount of money that it would cost to buy Rice, I could buy Partey for less. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think Rice and Sancho looks more like a Manchester United summer
with where we are. With where we are.
Yeah, I could, but that's what it is, bro.
I could see that. I mean, I wouldn't be completely against Rice coming. My only concern would be a lot of what you said there, which is that how much better is Declan than the likes of Scott McTominay? I don't think there's much in it. In terms of holding midfield, of what Matic is doing, the only thing Declan has over him now is obviously age. Mm-hmm. Obviously not the experience side of it, but I think
he's a better passer though. He's a better passer of the ball for sure.
Like he can move the ball well. He can move the ball well, and I think he is a bit underrated, Declan Rice. I think it's easy to kind of say, oh, he's crap, he's not good. Because he is a good player. He is a good player, and he's only going to get better. But I think with what McTominay's already shown us right now, I think, you know, like he's come through the youth academy as well, and he's kind of bought into that United thing. You know what I'm saying? You talk about that United DNA. I know that's not what you like to pride players on, but I think McTominay is probably a good example of that at this stage, because he's got a blend of progressing well, so he's showing us, you know, what he can do with his feet, but also the mentality. And I think whilst you've got that balance with McTominay, I don't think we need to spend, like you're saying, an expensive. It's going to be what, 60, 70 million. What do you think Rice would cost?
Bro, it's a joke. Anything over 45 million is a rip-off, bro. And that's no disrespect to him. It's just that, bro, like, look how much Bruno costs. You trying to tell me he's going to cost the same amount as Bruno?
Yeah.
Nah, no chance. You know what I'm saying? If someone said 40 million, you could have Declan Rice, cool, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But I'm not paying 60, 70 million for him. Like, that's a disgrace, isn't it?
Because if you did pay the 40, you look at it like Matic might have one more year left, then we'll probably move on. So you're going to need to fill that position. Scott's still going to be playing a range of midfield positions without maybe being a specialist DM. And then you're going to have Pogba and Bruno, and obviously next year, who knows where Pogba will be. So, as in not next season, but the season after. So it's true. Like, if you did get Rice, it's not a horrible signing.
No,
it's just maybe not
signing at the right price. But with English clubs, you don't get them at the right price. English clubs and English players, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
but the thing is about it,
if was moving from an English club to here, they'll be talking even more stupid money than what we're probably going to have to pay for them.
Yeah, and then you've got the situation where if you look at it player for player, but then Partey's better than all of them in that position. So technically, that's the player. Well. Yeah, going into maybe his last year.
I just don't think we're on him. To be honest, like, do you know what I mean? The fact these Rice links ain't come out of nowhere. Just like when we're getting linked with what's his name,
Longstaff.
Those didn't come out of nowhere, bro. Like, these are credible links. I'm glad we didn't get him. Now, I don't think he can get a game for Newcastle anymore. But we wanted him at one point. So I think the Rice thing, I think there's a lot in that, bro. You know what I mean? I haven't seen us linked with Partey like from any credible sources.
Yeah, apart from this guy today, which is and it's not like loads and loads and loads. It was a lot of Arsenal links, really.
And that guy said that that Partey likes the links to United, but we don't know if the links are legit though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We don't know if they're legit links. The only legit links I've ever seen are Arsenal links for this guy. You know what I mean? But I just don't see him going there.
Okay, Oscar, as you see on the screen, says there, Scott over Rice, 70 million, forget it, pay that for Partey, which Carter says McTominay's mentality doesn't reflect what he does on the stadium. on the pitch. I think he is fake and overrated. I don't agree with that. I think if you know your football, you don't overrate McTominay, you don't underrate McTominay. You understand what he is and how well he's done.
I think a lot of fans have overrated him, to be honest. Like, because there were certain guys saying that he was better than Fred and all that. Like, I'm saying that he should play ahead of Fred and all that, but nah. Like, he had a very good spell. What he offers us here, no one else in the squad offers, innit, in terms of the kind of player he is. But he's not better than any of them. But he's just different. Do you know what I mean? But a lot of men are seeing it as why he's better. Nah, he's not better than Fred. He's not better than Matic. He's not better than Pogba. He's not better than Bruno. He's better than Pereira. That's it. The only player that plays centrally. Like, when in terms of like ability and what he offers and that, it's just different. But it's not better. Do you see what I mean? Even if there's a Declan in the team, he doesn't get in ahead of Declan. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I think people need to differentiate between like him offering something different for balance and that, and him being better than these guys. He's not better than them.
People, let us know what you think. Smash a like on the video. We're nearly at 2,000 people watching. Make sure you subscribed if you haven't, and make sure you tap the bell notification also if you haven't. I know there's been a few audio issues. Do you know what? I've got my mic plugged in today, and maybe I'm just a little bit too much louder than Rants. I can't really turn it down at the moment. I might just go back to the headphones if it persists.
Definitely sound louder to me, but it's calm.
Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. We'll carry on. If it gets worse, then I'll plug in some other headphones. But let's talk about Rio Ferdinand's comments. He went onto a podcast with some guys that I know that they're doing really big things. The Beautiful Game podcast. That's where you can find a full interview. So shout out those guys doing good stuff as well. And one of the things they asked him, which obviously was Paul Pogba. Pogba, Rio done his usual backing of Pogba. He usually backs Pogba in terms of don't know why everyone's on his back. Fantastic footballer. Said, listen, man's got a World Cup to his name. Can't stop talking, sort of thing. Yeah. Excuse me. But he did say the only thing I would say to Paul is that he should do more talking rather than his agent. And then the guy said to him, well, have you said that to him? And he said, yeah, anytime I speak to Paul, when I have done in the past, I've always said to him, you should do some more talking. And then he went on to say that Paul's his own man. Obviously, he will do what he needs to do. And obviously, up to now, Pogba hasn't really done that. And who knows if he will in the future. But do you think that we could see Pogba maybe change his stance? Not just because Rio said, I'm just talking about in general. If he comes back, maybe a different way of thinking, knows he's maybe going to be a little bit more settled because he knows he's staying for at least a year and a bit, whatever. Do you think that we could start seeing him shut down Raiola or stop him from saying certain things because it's gone a bit too far and he might just go, you know what, let's just chill?
I don't think so. Like, he's never been one to speak very much. Like, even the little things he said, like when they done, I think he was on the FaceTime with Jesse and that, and the thing went around and he was like, he's looking forward to getting back and winning trophies. If people don't ask him a question, yeah, he doesn't speak. I've never just randomly seen quotes attributed to him because he's he doesn't just come out. It never happens, bro. Like, he's just quiet. He gets on with his life. That's it. Like, he posts stuff on Insta, this, that, and the other, but he doesn't talk about anyone or anything. And with Raiola, Pogba's the only Raiola client, that he's always coming out and talking about. But then again, Pogba's the most abused client that he's got. So I just feel like Raiola feels like he's got to defend him, like, because he gets all this stick that he doesn't deserve. He hasn't got another client that gets that. So I think that Raiola talks more when it comes to Pogba because people are on Pogba's case more than anyone else. I think it's all relative because you don't hear Raiola talking about any of his other clients because he don't have to.
Do you think that Raiola, if he didn't talk as much as Pogba, so if he didn't talk for Pogba as much as he does, I see that point of maybe he feels he has to back him because Pogba's always on the tip of everyone's tongue. But say Raiola chose to ignore it then in favor of Pogba to say, you know what, if I speak to defend you, it gets misconstrued. Kind of like how I think you would deal with it. Because I know you as a person, like that whole thing of like, bro, what's the point? If I say something, you lot are going to twist it and say it's this. If I don't say something, you lot are going to say, I don't say nothing and this is that. So you know what? This ain't bothering. Do you think maybe Raiola should take that kind of view? Which is, you know what? Let me just not say nothing.
Yeah, but I think that Raiola likes the controversy.
Yeah, he does.
But there's a part of him that likes.
He does like it.
He likes it. He likes the confrontation. He likes being in the spotlight, innit? He's not someone that shies away from it. So if you give him the opportunity, he's gonna show out, innit? That's what he does. So people keep giving him opportunities with Pogba because they keep like speaking the guy's name, like for every little thing people can say about Pogba, they say about him. So every now and then Raiola likes to just throw shade at someone because he can, and he knows that he's got one of the best players in the world on his books.
Yeah, it's true. He definitely does act differently
I
towards
think
Pogba a hell of a
I
lot.
think if people stop talking about Pogba, then Raiola won't talk about anything else, bro. They're giving him a reason to speak. Whereas with his other clients, he doesn't get that. So I just think that Pogba's always just not going to say nothing. I think that Raiola doesn't usually say stuff. It's only Pogba. So you have to look at the situation as isolated, because you don't see him talking about Haaland really or Zlatan or these man. He just gets on with it.
Southpaw Loves Sports says people want Pogba to talk more. Then he does an MUTV podcast and gets trashed in the media and socials. I think he kind of sums it up there. Pogba's sort of in this bubble where the people who decided that they don't like him, there's nothing he can do for them to decide that they like him. Like he could even go on an amazing run of form or whatever next season, and the first thing the Pogba haters will say is he's only doing it because he wants to leave at the end of the season, or where's this been for this amount of time, or where's this? They won't just go, wow, what a great pass, or finally we've got Pogba performing consistently. I think there's a lot of people who have made their minds up on him, which, you know, that's up to them. I mean, I think there are still a lot of people, though, who understand exactly what Paul Pogba is to Man United and what he can be, especially if he gets even more consistent than he has been. Just through, he hasn't been consistent this year. He ain't played. He's been injured. Do you know what I mean? And then when he has been playing, his numbers have actually been increasing compared to what he was at Juventus, which is weird, which shows you how highly we regard him. Like you said, a Paul Pogba 6 or a 7 is other man's 9s. Yeah, like he's just different levels. So, and I think because there's this thing around him all the time, he's expected to do absolutely everything. Like Pogba said it really well.
In the world that's expected to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. And then you got to think that what are they judging? What are they judging him against? Because if they're judging man against man that play his position in the game, he's clear of everyone. Like, do you know what I mean? If they want to look at stats, he's clear of everyone. If they want to look at consistency over the last 3 seasons, like he's top 5 in the league in terms of average numbers. Like, what can man do? There's nothing he can do. That's why he doesn't speak. I get it, bro. Like, when people are just out there and they don't want to see you win, then, bro, you just ignore them, innit? And that's what he does. Yeah. Like, I don't blame him. I think the way he handles the media and everything is spot on.
He could be really bitter with how he gets attacked and stuff. He could definitely do that whole.
He could do a Lukaku I'm gonna and start posting stats, man, and be like, "Oh, you said I was slow."
Do you know what I'm saying? Lukaku, you know what I mean? Like to be fair to Lukaku, he's like, I ain't having this shit. Like he's
2 different personalities.
Yeah, 100%.
Like Lukaku come out posting stats, posting pictures with his top off, and that you say I was fat. All these things, Pogba just ignores it all, bro. Do you know what I mean? And when Lukaku was doing that, people were onto man for posting pictures and hitting back because they're like, "Oh, you're rattled." But then Pogba doesn't say anything. So, but he doesn't know. He just can't be bothered. Do you know what I mean? I get it, bro. Like, I 100% get it. I hope he never responds.
The only thing, 100%, I hear that in terms of keeping quiet. The only thing I will stand by is that I think, only because Pogba doesn't care, fair enough. But if I was to advise him, I agree with Ria. I would say to him, just tell Raiola, don't say nothing. Just if you've got anything to say regarding Man United, I know he's your agent, so he can represent you. It's like a lawyer, and they can speak on behalf of you. Yeah, it's his job. I get that, but I think because Pogba's situation is so unique, it's different for Pogba because he doesn't care. So fine. But if I was him, or if I was advising him, I would say, just tell Raiola to just shut up. If you got something to say about Man United, then say it. If you haven't, don't let it come from Raiola. Just leave him. That's all I would say, because all it does is rub people up the wrong way, fuels people's perceptions of you, and makes you look a certain way when in fact you are committed to playing football. You are committed to staying here for however long, maybe not 3 years, but you're committed for another year or so. You didn't get your move last year or whatever, and I believe that when you do come back, you do want to put your all in and start a mazzle with Bruno. Let's say.
But
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that it rubs people up the wrong way, but I don't think it does. I think that if people don't like you anyway and they're looking for a reason not to like you, then it bothers you, innit? But the people that don't support you anyway, their opinions are void. Who cares, bro? Like, it's the same for everyone. It's just like us, bro. If you don't like our show, I don't care what you have to say about it, bro. Your opinion don't mean nothing. Do you know what I mean? If there's nothing that he can do to change a lot of people's perception, so why should he care? People that want to understand what he's like, understand. People that don't want to understand, don't understand, innit? The people that don't want to understand, who cares, bro? Like,
and they probably never will understand.
They never will. They don't want to. Fuck them, innit? That's my mentality in life. And I get why it's his as well, bro. Like, people that want to see what kind of person he is have seen it already, or they're starting to see it from the podcast or from whatever he does. He's always doing charity work. On his own birthday, he's raising money for like charities on his birthday and that. Like, he's been doing stuff, innit? So if you don't like him, that's on you, innit? I don't think he needs to do anything different. I just think that the people that will like him. The people that don't, who cares, innit?
Moving on to a poll that about Harry Maguire that Sky did, and Harry Maguire came out as Man United's MVP. Basically, there's a look on his face. And people were saying there were some stats about him, sort of saying how influential he's been, and how underrated he's been. But how do you see Maguire's season? Is he underrated? Was he overrated?
I don't think he's underrated, bro. I think he's done what he was meant to do, bro. Come in and be better than Lindelof. He's done that. Do you know what I mean? He's added some balance into the defense because he's a genuine ball playing centre back. Like Lindelof thinks he is, yeah, but he's not physical enough to earn. Like in the Premier League, you have to earn the right to play football, innit? And physically, because Lindelof gets bullied, he ain't really got the stature to earn the right to play, innit? Whereas Maguire does that. But do I think that he's been underrated? No. I think that people, like, if Maguire has like a 6 out of 10 and we don't concede, everyone will just get gassed because he'll post something on Twitter after. But I don't think he's been anywhere near Wan-Bissaka in terms of how highly he's performed, how consistently he's performed. Harry Maguire, I've seen bare times where he's been caught out and we've got away with it. I can't say the same for Wan-Bissaka. I can't. Do you know what I mean? So do I think Harry Maguire has been better than him? Not a chance, bro. Not a chance. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I think
it's passion FC.
I think look, Maguire, has he come in and been a better player than what we had in that position?
Yeah,
I think he has. And as he started to solidify the back four, yes, and along with the addition of Bissaka, and then obviously Luke Shaw coming on and Brandon Williams, etc., etc. They've done all right.
If we bring in Maguire and we don't bring in Wan-Bissaka with him, do you think that Maguire looks as good as he looks now? I don't think so. I think the defense as a whole looks good because Wan-Bissaka is literally, I'd say, 6 out of 10 of that defense is just him, blood. I'll keep it 100%. It don't matter who plays left back because Wan-Bissaka's there on the right. Like, it's mad.
Nah, you can't just say.
Bro, imagine
who plays left back. We still need something good there because Bissaka's on the other side.
Yeah, but bruv, if we had Williams or Shaw, it don't matter if Wan-Bissaka's playing. I'll tell you what, if Wan-Bissaka's out for 3 months, yeah, or Harry Maguire's out for 3 months, who do we miss more? I say Wan-Bissaka, bro. Because if Bailly's fit and we play Bailly and Lindelof, we can kind of get away with it, bro. Like if man are playing
until Bailly gets injured.
Yeah, exactly.
In that same time.
If man are fit, I don't think we can play anyone else right back and even get 2/3 of the level of performance we get out of man. Do you see what I mean? I think that Wan-Bissaka is twice as good as any right back we have in the club. Harry Maguire is not twice as good as any centre back we have at the club. He's not. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think that he'll be missed less, bro. I do. Wan-Bissaka's just like
in comparison to Bissaka, I 100% agree with that.
Levels, bro.
I think that because Bissaka's been so consistent, you're right. If they were both injured at the same time, or one of the other, you'd see. I do think that Maguire has been assertive. I've seen him use his attributes, like you said, he's a ball playing centre half. The downside, yes, he can get turned and you see him kind of scramping back can get put on his arse a couple of times. That can happen to a lot of centre backs. I get that, but he's not the quickest, which is why we've always got this debate going on about the best partner for him. Because if he gets the right partner, there could be a brilliant partnership.
Yeah, for sure.
Why I do want to big Bissaka up of is he is commanding. I think he does read the game well, and by and large, he does dominate his opponent. by and large, because he's so big, because he's so powerful.
You mean
Maguire, yeah, I don't ever see him really get outstrengthed, and I know he shouldn't, because he's a big unit and he's tall, so that he's doing his job. But I get it with the Bissaka thing. In terms of, I was very surprised with that poll to see him voted as our MVP, because I think a lot of Man United fans, as well as Maguire's done well, but he's done nowhere near well as Wan-Bissaka, as Fred this year. Yeah. Even you could even put Rashford into that, because Rashford has been in before he got injured. Martial stepped up massively. So there's a lot of other, but I'll put before him.
A lot of these polls come down to just who people like, innit? That's why I don't pay no attention to them, bro. They're not football polls. They're not, because if they were, there's no way Harry Maguire is above Wan-Bissaka. No way he's above Fred, bro, in terms of consistency and the level. Do you know what I mean? So, like, and even Rashford, the spell that he had as well, you could argue, like, but with Rashford, the disparity between his highs and his lows are the reason why he's frustrating, because his lows are like a 1 out of 10 and his highs are like a 9 or a 10, like. Whereas Harry Maguire will give you that constant 6, and then occasionally you might get an 8. But more times when I watch him play, like, there's not too many times I'll finish watching the game and I thought, you know what, he's been amazing today, bro. Like, the defense as a unit are just better. Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Lindelof, whoever's there, as a unit, they're better. But I wouldn't say that, yeah, he stood out defensively out of them 4, not ahead of Wan-Bissaka. No way. Every game we finished watching Wan-Bissaka play, we're like, Ras, no one got past him again.
And you know what? I'm just looking at some of the articles in response to that, and this is why it's brilliant that you can clearly see that this poll wasn't done by United fans. Hold tight, the guys at the Man United way. Obviously, it says that Harry Maguire has announced MVP by Sky for the 1920 season, and someone else said underneath, actually, it's at Marcus Dutton. He says, "I guess Fred doesn't exist then." Do you know what I mean? So. And look, a lot of Man United fans are saying this is a joke, right? How ahead of Fred? Fred was robbed. He was not even the best summer signing. How can he be MVP? So there you go. It's echoing what we're kind of saying, which is the fact that Man United fans know that
a lot of these polls are done by guys that don't watch United, innit? And you hear some of these pundits and the way they talk about certain players, I could tell that they've never seen them play a 90 minutes. Like, they just see highlights and they make up their minds what kind of player these guys are. They're comparing them to players that don't even play like them and stuff. It's a shambles. So when you see polls like that, I'm glad United fans stepped in and were like, yeah, this is nonsense. Because it is. Yeah. It's nonsense. Yes, he has improved our backline, but he hasn't been our best player.
He hasn't been our best player all season. Like, Absolutely
top 5,
not.
You could kind of squeeze him in there.
Yeah, top 5.
But he hasn't been better than Rashford. He ain't been better than Wan-Bissaka. He ain't been better than Fred. That's for damn sure.
That's already free.
For sure.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, so like you're clutching then. Do you know what I mean? And even in recent times, right, you can even make an argument that Shaw's been better than him in terms of consistency in the last 2 months, bro. So against Everton, I see he was getting Calvert-Lewin was running man all over the place.
No, but against Everton, Harry Maguire was getting his head on everything. He had a really good game.
And
apart from that first half. That first half,
bro.
You know what?
I was on fire, bro. I was lit. I was at Sky. My stomach was hurting. He was getting turned. Well, bro,
you know why that's so funny? You know, I remember because even just after that game happened, in the aftermath of that game, I remember you always kept saying he kept getting turned, bro. Because I remember I was sitting like 5th row as well, and he did at the start. But as the game went on and we got more dominant, especially after we got back to 1-1, there was a spell in the second half where he was colossal though. They were raining crosses in the box, and Maguire was on the end of everything.
But
so
he's meant to win. He's meant to win headers.
No, he's meant to. But if he wasn't doing it, he'll be getting killed.
But Flex, remember, we give him so much credit, for his reading of the game and stuff. So, bruv, understand you ain't got pace for Calvert-Lewin, so you need to get touch tight or you need to drop off. You can't be in between because you're.
But it weren't all game though. It was only a couple of occasions, which does happen across the whole season though.
How many goals could you score in 45 minutes, Flex? We were lucky, bro. That like them chances never
I'm only counting 2. I'm only counting twice that happened, you know. There was one that was immediately after he scored, and then Calvert-Lewin was clean through again, and they had done a good save.
When I see defenders falling on their knees, I'm like, fam, like this is mad, innit? Man was on all 4s like that. I'm like, hold on, fam, this is 80 M's on his knees.
I remember when Maguire got sat down by that youth who plays for Partizan as well. Away, he got sat down as well. Like he done like a little Igalo like chop. And the guy, Maguire, just kind of fell back.
And the thing is, as a defender, it's just like a goalkeeper. Man, remember your howlers, innit? That comes with the territory of.
That's why I don't really get too much Do you know what I mean? I don't get too much into that because
if you're a
any
striker,
defender can get done, bro. They
but
can.
if you're a striker and you miss a chance here, or you miss 2 chances, but you score, people forget. When you're a defender, if a man puts you on your bum, no one's forgetting that. I don't care what you do for the rest of the game, innit? So it's unfortunate that that's what comes with the position, innit? But I'm saying AEMs, sick reading of the game and that, my man was crawling on the knees, fam. If it was Phil Jones, they would have made memes about it. And it's happened enough times, bro.
Before we
Wan-Bissaka. We can't.
Yeah, no, it's true. There's only one time I think Firmino put him on his ass,
and then he tackled him anyway.
Yeah, and then he got back up, and it still went out for a corner.
Fam, you see what I mean?
While we're on this topic of kind of looking at our players' performances, let's kind of do like an awards. Yeah, so who's player of the season? Bissaka.
For me, it has to be him or Fred, innit? Like,
yeah.
If I'm talking about influence on the games and that, I'd give it to Fred for sure. Do you know what I mean? But if I'm talking about consistency, like who gives you 8 out of 10s every game, Wan-Bissaka wins that.
I'm talking about it's the Man United Awards ceremony. You're in charge to giving out the trophy of player of the season.
I'd give it to Fred though.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'd go with Wan-Bissaka. I'd give it to just Wan-Bissaka. Although you could cheat and put Wan-Bissaka into young player.
But that's what I would do.
Because they both deserve something. Yeah, they both deserve something. But if you're talking about young player, like truly, truly young, but then Wan-Bissaka is young, and this is only second season they're doing it at this level. Yeah, but Mason's been good, and so is Brandon Williams, man, for young player.
So is Mason, but then if we have to go, it has to be Mason, bro. Like, guy's got like 10 goals in like the equivalent of 12 games in minutes, bro. Get out of here, man. It's a joke. Like, that's a joke, innit? Like, he wins that. Do you know what I mean? But then if he win it, for me, like, and just the fact that Fred's foreign as well, probably never win again.
But another award is most improved. That Fred could have that for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That way we can fit in everyone.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. But then
so Fred most improved. Wan-Bissaka player of the season, a young player.
Yeah.
Mason.
I think Fred's the only player
or Brandon Williams.
We're saying we should sell. Yeah. That now everyone's on his nuts.
Yeah.
They were like, you should sell him. He's rubbish. Just that he's not a Man United player, and now, so most improved to Fred, player of the season, Wan-Bissaka, young player Mason Greenwood. I think there won't be many people that would argue with that. Yeah,
a lot of people saying Wan-Bissaka, Fred for most improved. Mason Greenwood reminds me of RVP, says Jonathan Gallagher. BG says Gunwood, young player. Pierre Robertson says Fred the Don. Wasima says AWB. So all around those players-ish. Certainly Harry Maguire's not in any of them. Jack Webb says French league voided. I don't know if that's breaking news or anything. I haven't seen that confirmed.
Must be because the one's been voided and that was breaking. So this must be
breaking. I'm not sure, so we won't talk about that in as much. But he goes on to say thoughts on De Gea, saying he's committed to United now that he has nowhere else to go. Also Woodward's statement on spending. De Gea saying kind of, I'm amazing to be here. 10 years it is now. Experienced great moments, etc., etc. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because he definitely wanted to leave at a couple of stages. Probably couldn't get the move that he wanted to because of the climate, because of certain teams. First time he didn't get the move because we didn't want him to go and said pulled the plug on the fax machine. Yeah. Second time, there wasn't really much takers at the price we probably was willing to let him go for, and I don't think United was going to let him go. But he's been a great servant to the club, obviously. Where do you stand on him now? Like now he's saying,
I think De Gea is a fraud, bruv, in terms of like not his ability, but just how he gets away with so much stuff with the fans, bro. I think he wanted to leave, couldn't go, signed a new deal, held the club to ransom, got loads of money, and been playing shit ever since, bro. And I think that's down to his attitude, isn't it? I've always questioned his attitude. His temperament looks weird. I said it many times. LVG dropped him last time when he was in the contract negotiations because he started throwing the ball in his own net, bruv. And then he had to drop him. And then he's done this. Then he was playing shit, got a new deal that he didn't really warrant on performance, and he hasn't upped his game. And he's not old either, bro. Like, goalkeepers normally get better with age. The decision-making gets better with age. He's still making stupid mistakes like he's young, bruv, and he's not young. Do you see what I mean? So I just think that his head's not in the game. I just think that he's checked out mentally, and I think that he just, like, I'm De Gea, I'm this good, and I don't have to try no more. I think that his effort and just his attitude has to be questioned, bro, because it's not age, bro. It's not like he's had loads of injuries and he's not as mobile as he used to be. He can still do it. It's up here with him. And I just think that his complacency's just got the better of him now. I think he's too comfortable. And that's what I mean. He's got nowhere to go, like people were saying. So, of course, he's happy. He just signed on 300 bags. No one wants you. Of course, you're happy. Where you going? And who's going to pay him that money? No one. Real Madrid wouldn't even have given him that money.
Yeah, I think I think we would have seen a bigger test, or I think we would know what would have happened. I feel that if the right team was there to take him at that time, I think he would have gone this just before he signed, because it took him a hell of a long time it was right up to the wire pretty much where he signed that contract. There was in and ahhing, and the back end of last season where he was really bad. I remember a lot of fans were calling for him to be dropped, not in a disrespectful way, but just on, bro, if you're not playing well, come out the sticks. It's as simple as that. Sort your head out, sort out what you're doing with your contract. What are you doing here? But Ollie kept playing him. Beginning of this season, probably up until January. Up until January, he started maybe getting it together. It's like since Bruno came, he just improved everyone.
Yeah.
Like Maguire got better in January, Shaw got better in January, De Gea got better in January because the whole team started doing better. But up until then, I can think of loads of mistakes that De Gea's made this year. And I think because the thing with De Gea is Everton was awful. The thing with De Gea is because he's been so good in that period. Yeah, when he was in that period of that 2-3 years, he was undoubtedly the best keeper in the world. He was brilliant. But I feel that because he's dropped off, his level is so high that you notice when he drops off, and he's been very uncharacteristic. I'd say in the last 18 months, he's been not the David De Gea we know. Is that a sign of a decline in David De Gea? Probably. But because he's so good, he's still good enough. He's still good enough to be our keeper. He's still good enough to play for us.
Attitude, though, bro. Like, I just think it's his attitude. I don't think that he's declined that much because he still shows that he can do it. It's just that he can't do it consistently. I think it's in his head. I just think that he thinks that he don't really need to try, bro. Like, and because he's comfortable. That's all I think it is. I reckon if he went somewhere else, we'd see the old De Gea again.
You think?
Yeah, I don't think he's done, bro. I don't think he's
done. I don't think he's done.
He's so comfortable at United. He's on his money. Like, he's been there for long. He's one of the senior players in the dressing.
Not going to get pushed out. Not getting challenged.
No competition, bro. Like, even saw, Brandon Williams got Luke Shaw earning his money again, bro. Like, De Gea's got no competition, fam.
Well, this is for, like Brandon Lee says, Henderson won't do good. Old Trafford is a lot of pressure. It'll be interesting to see what happens next season, because Ollie's got a very difficult decision and a very important conversation to have with Dean Henderson, because Dean Henderson has proved he can play at this level in the Premier League. Yes, it's always a step up going to Man United week in, week out, 100%. I don't care what anyone says. It always is, especially if you're just doing it. No disrespect to Sheffield United because they're where we are in the league, but doing it Man United, screwed that you're under a microscope every single game. But Ollie needs to sit down with Dean Henderson and say, yo, you know what? All right, cool. De Gea's just signed this new contract. What was it, a 3-year deal? I think, a 4-year? 3-year deal, I think it was. Let's just say it's 3-year deals for argument's sake. Yeah. Dean Henderson knows that for the majority of that 3 years, De Gea is going to be number one.
Yeah, he'll never be number two.
Anyway. He'll never be number two. So Ollie either says, right, go out on loan for another season, then come back, and then you have to play number two, which why would he want to play number two after playing 2 consecutive years of first team football? I just don't see. I feel we'll have to make a really big decision. You know what I mean? With an aging De Gea.
I think that the decision, needed to be made before giving him the contract. That's what I think, because a player like him, if he's there, he starts, he's number one, innit? Henderson, he's good. People are like, oh yeah, but the pressure's different, bro. How old's Mason Greenwood, bruv? And he's banging goals everywhere and he don't care, innit? If you're good enough, you're old enough, innit? I'm not trying to hear this pressure, bruv. If you're good, you're good, innit? Like, he's in a team that's competing for Europe right now. And statistically, I think he had the most clean sheets in the league or something, playing for Sheffield United. So you can't tell me that, he would crumble at Old Trafford, bro. He didn't crumble when he goes away at the Bridge or when he's at the Etihad. He's not crumbling. So why is he going to crumble playing for Man United? It doesn't make sense. He's playing in the league against us and against all these other teams, and he's not crumbling, bro. So why would he crumble just because he's in our blood? That don't make sense. It's not like he's coming from flipping the Luxembourg League or the Swiss League. He's here. Why is he going to crumble? It don't make no damn sense, bro.
Playing the best. That's what I'm saying. He's proved he can play at this level.
Bro, the goal's the same size at Old Trafford as it is everywhere else, blood, and he's saving shots in it. Like, let's not make no mistake about it. He's England's best goalkeeper, and he should be our number one at some point.
And he'll wanna be that. He'll wanna be England's number one as well. Because at the moment, obviously, Pickford.
If we lose him with Romero being 29, 30, De Gea being around, we stand to gain nothing from selling him. If he wants another season on loan, give it to him. But after the end of the next season, there's a decision that needs to be made. If De Gea has another season like this, bro, you know what I'm saying? Man,
you could cash in on him because he's on a big contract. So
you have to, bro, because last 2 years, he ain't been good. You see me, yeah? I don't care about the sentiment and what you did before, bro. Like, football's a results business. In order to get results, you need to make the right decisions, innit? And if it means that you're not cutting the mustard, you're not cutting the mustard. And I said the same thing about Kante, bro. He's been a wavy player for the last 5 years, but the last 2 years of the 5, he ain't been good, innit? I'm not going to keep giving him plaudits because I know what he can do. It's what you're doing now, innit? And that's what it is. And De Gea's not doing it now, bro.
Okay. Moving on then to the last topic of the day. Premier League and other European leagues have been given a deadline of the 25th of May by UEFA to provide plans to restart their season. Also, the teams that have, the leagues that have said they want to finish, like in Belgium and in in Holland, they have to give their final kind of findings from that before it's all kind of sealed off.
Yesterday.
Yeah, then they avoided it, but UEFA is saying that also they've got to this May 25th to kind of definitely finalize it, whether you are going to carry on or whether you're definitely finishing it. But yeah, they've put through. Yeah, I mean, just let's look at it obviously from a Premier League point of view. It feels like other countries are starting to ease lockdown measures here and there. Obviously, Italy were ahead of us in the peak and stuff like that, and revealed their plans to start easing it. My gut feeling is that May the 7th, when we're due for our review, they'll start to ease things maybe within a week or so after that. Are we going to start seeing these games come back then for this June 30th deadline that they're kind of saying that maybe June times behind closed doors, we can see Premier League football again?
I don't know. I heard some nonsense here about they're going to bring it back but at neutral grounds or something.
Yeah, neutral grounds. Yeah, it won't be at people's grounds.
Legit? Is that real? Someone told me that when I Twitch.
If it does come back, it will be to slim down, obviously, supporters trying to go to all over the country and then minimize the travel. There were talks that players could even, this is something I read, it's not fact, that players could actually be stationed at St. George's Park for that time in the quarantine, but also maybe games in the Midlands, because if you look at the Midlands, you've got quite a few big stadiums there. You've got Wolves, you've got Aston Villa, you've got Birmingham City, you've got West Brom. Who else you got there? You got Derby County, you got Forest. So that's 6 stadiums there of decent size. You've got Coventry Stadium. So they're looking to maybe play the games in the Midlands potentially behind closed doors.
I think it's trash, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? I think it's trash. Unfortunately, like if they do play these things, then it's going to impact next season, innit? And the season after, and the season after that. I think that they need to just look at everyone else in Europe, bro. Like if they're avoiding it in Holland. What other league did they avoid it in?
Belgium. Yeah, Club Brugge got the title. Yeah.
Yeah, people are just voiding the thing. Yeah, and the thing is, it's just a money thing here. Why they won't do it? That's all it is. Like if they force this thing to come back, it's a money thing. If these footballers are playing football and earning their money, yeah, but normal people can't go to work and make money, yeah, it don't make sense to me. Do you know what I mean? It don't make sense to me.
But what if it starts getting eased after
if everyone can make peas or no one can make peas, bro? It don't make sense, yeah, that we can have football. As much as I want to watch football because it's boring without it, yeah. But them man are gonna be running around enjoying themselves, and man them are still gonna be cooped up in their yards. It don't make sense. I think if everyone's suffering, everyone's suffering. If it's locked down or it's lock off, blood, like one or the other, bro. Either we're in or we're out.
But that's why I think but I think in terms of the difference, the players will be allowed out, but we just won't be allowed to go to the games because social distancing was still like we can't have 50, 60, 75,000 people in a stadium after the pandemic because they're saying, it's still maybe not safe, but they can make it behind closed doors because it's more easy to manage.
30th of June, they start the thing. When's this league ending?
Say that again?
When's the league ending if it starts on June the 30th?
They're trying to say by July, so early August, I think, and then have like a few, however many weeks off and come back September.
September. So that means the league
this is still all unconfirmed. The season can still get voided.
Start late again, and then on top of that, you have to think about the Euros the following year. The players that have had their season voided, yeah, are chilling. They get to relax with their families, whatever, train, do whatever they need to do. These other men are going to play these extra games, go straight into a new season, then have to go into the Euros. So everyone playing in the Premier League is going to be at a disadvantage coming into the European Championships. It's not fair for so many different reasons on so many different people, bro. Do you see what I'm saying? They're talking about what's fair, bro. Like, it's going to be unfair to different people, but I think still playing the thing is going to be unfair to more people than scrapping the thing's going to be. If you scrap it, really, the only people that are going to complain are Liverpool. Really. Do you know what I mean? If you play it and then players come back rushed and then they get injured and then your team ends up getting relegated because you had 3 weeks to get ready and all of that, then you're going to moan anyway. And say, right,
also, UEFA, like Jess W saying there, UEFA competitions are supposed to resume in August. That's what they're planning for as well, because they want to finish that.
But you see what I'm saying? But imagine, what if your league gets voided, yeah? So you haven't got games and you're still in UEFA competition. Then you ain't got a match practice of the Premier League teams that are still playing. Then you go out, it's not fair on you. Then you can moan. There's so many different ways man could just be moaning, bro.
One thing they're talking about is having 5 subs as well when football returns. FIFA are discussing, because obviously there's going to be a lot of injuries. But when people come back from this, you might need to use your squad a bit more.
5 subs for the United Stand FC. So what is this, some joke football league now, bro? Do you understand what I'm saying, bro? Like, this isn't serious anymore. Like, it's so much effort to try and bring this thing back that it's getting laughable. It's comical with all the ideas that I'm.
So you're saying just scrap it, forget all of this stuff, just scrap it and come back.
This is a world problem, you know. But then certain men are dealing with it one way, certain men are dealing with another way. The whole thing's a shambles, isn't it? Like, it's a complete shambles, bro. Like, all now, I don't even think the man in this country even know when we're coming out of lockdown and what we're doing and when people can go back to work. A man are talking about trying to shoehorn a Premier League season in out of nowhere, bro. That don't make sense. Either all the European teams need to lock off their league or they all need to play in it. I don't see why some should play, some shouldn't. And then you might be in the same European competition as a team that's not playing. And it's just, bro, it's too complicated, bro.
They're saying that obviously it's affected different countries in different ways, and different countries are coming out of it with the pandemic. But then if you lock off the season, the pandemic can still be there. But the problem with that is that because when you come out of, say, lockdown and stuff like that, all it takes is for one player to get the virus, and then that whole team would have to go into quarantine, and then that other whole team who they played against last week or whatever would have to lock off. It is very, very complex.
Makes sense, bro. Because if we say, cool, we go back in June, then 2-2's my man's got a runny nose and he's coughing. What? So now everyone in the changing room with him has got to go chill now. So what? My team can't play because we're self-isolating for 14 days. So what, you're going to play without us? And then what? Then I have to catch up the games after. But then what happens when the next season starts? It's dumb, bro.
So you think cut it now until like September, and then we just restart the new season, or whenever we have to, because of the let it clear?
Yeah, it makes sense, bro. Otherwise, we're always going to be playing catch up. There's so many what ifs this happens if we go back out there, because the virus hasn't disappeared. It's still there. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just don't see how they're going to do it. We're going to keep all the players together at St. George's. That's even easier to spread germs. Only one of them man need to get it then. One of them need to get it, you know, and everyone's mash up. Then what? That don't make sense. It's not sustainable unless them man are all going to sleep in fields, yeah, in tents, yeah, 2 meters apart.
But they were talking about trying to maybe keep them secluded and do that whole thing. Listen, I think to sum it up, it's such a difficult, it's so complex, and it's true. There isn't a one size fits all. I think how the pandemic has affected different countries is the same way how the football is kind of being done in different ways in different countries. But it's true. I didn't really think about it as much till now, is that if you have got different countries on different wavelengths, because at the beginning of this, I thought, well, every football place would have to deal with it the same way so that it's clear and consistent amongst, because you've got loads of different governing bodies, you've got different competitions. The easiest way to deal with it would be to all have the same response. But then I saw that was difficult because different countries had been hit harder by the virus than others. So I get that. And obviously the whole football discussion is dictated by governments. So they have the final say. Because if they say we can't come out of lockdown, if we come on May the 7th and say, nah, we're still not quite where we need to be, we're not coming out of lockdown to another 3 weeks, and say it's now going into June and we're still not off lockdown. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if it did, that then pushes everything back again. So there has to be a cutoff point in terms of when they go, this is getting too far now. We have to just lock it.
Even De Bruyne came out and he was like, listen, yeah, if football's not back by the 1st of June, just lock it off. Because you got to think about players' contracts as well. If I'm under contract till June the 1st, bro, June the 4th, I'm not playing. Don't chat to me. It's that simple. You can't tell me that actually you can't go back to your club. You got to stay and play for us. But nah, my loan's done. My contract's done. I'm a free agent. I'm not playing. And you can't take me to court because it's written. The ink's dried, fam. You can't alter my contract because of COVID, bruv. You can't. Contracts are contracts, bro. That's why certain players are refusing pay cuts because a contract's a contract. You have to pay, man. You know what I mean? There's no.
Yeah, there's going to be a whole load of legal battles going on because, and like you said earlier, it's always going to be uncomfortable, piss someone off. There's no one blanket response to all of this, whether it's on the football side of things or lockdown or whatever. People obviously got opinions and people got their own interest at heart. So there's not going to be one solution that everyone's like, do you know what? Brilliant. What a solution, because there's just too much at stake. And I agree that there's going to be some players who are like, allow that, mate. I ain't playing. Or there's going to be some players saying like, I still owed 3 months. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you can't get rid of me right now. You need to keep paying me free or whatever. So it's a really, really interesting one, man. And at the end of the day, I still don't think we're any closer to truly knowing. I think what we are closer to is potentially coming out of this peak from what we're seeing with the stats and figures is that, you know what I mean, we're starting to see some form of stability and a little bit of a drop. We're not there yet, as the government keeps saying, but hopefully we start seeing it over the next week or two so that when we get to our next review in this country, we'll start having some noises from the government saying, okay, 3 out of these 5 things are ticked. Of where we can come out of lockdown, we're nearly there. We're going to start saying you can go to your parents' houses or, you know, because I still think the social distancing thing and us being at games 50, 60,000 ain't going to happen this year. I don't think. This year. No, easily. I mean, and that would be the right thing. That would be the right thing.
To the point where people can still play games though, bro. Like
it will. Yeah, it will. We'll get to.
Now the bank, I went down the road yesterday to get food and the bank was open for the first time. They're still queuing.
Oh, they opened the bank.
Okay. Open a bank. Do you know what I mean? And I think they said in the next few weeks, like certain restaurants and that will reopen. Like Nando said, they're going to reopen. So things are going back, but it's going to be delivery only. So things are kind of going back. So we're not going to see full football stadiums, but I don't think probably not before Christmas.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't see how. I'll be very surprised if they. Yeah,
football will be back.
Yeah, whether it's playing the next season or continuing this one, who knows? We've come to the end of the show. Rants, big up the socials.
At Rants and Bants, Twitter, Instagram, Rants and Bants official on Twitch as well, and obviously
100%. Get at it. I watched one. I watched one of your things. What did you say? Sacked for finishing 4th, was it? Or so? What did you say? Sacked,
I was doing career mode, innit, with United and that.
I saw a little bit of it, yeah.
Got sacked. That's exactly how it should be. To be fair, I had no complaints, bro. I was like, you know what?
Yeah, you die by your own sword.
That's it, bro. Like, if you're at United and you finish 4th, you should get sacked, bro. Like that's the way. That's the way we need to get back to that, bro.
I love that. I
bought the players I needed, and then boy, you know what I mean. I dropped a few points. You know what I mean, and it wasn't good enough, bro. So man got sacked.
I'm in my 2nd season at United. I got 3rd last season, trying to catch Liverpool and City. Because they just only lost the only time they lost was against me. So I've had a shaky little start, but I've managed to do all right. And I've got Diogo Jota, I got Neves. I just raided Wolves' club. I got Jota, Neves, and Traore as backup. But Neves I've put in and dropped him for Partey, fam, because what he does on the ball, Neves, with the assists and the shooting and that, and he's getting about the pitch. I was like, oh, you're doing better than Partey right now. So. Yeah, I've dropped him for him. Sancho's doing all right on the right, but Jota's been coming in and outshining, man, even though Sancho's like an 89. So I'm a fair manager. I just do it on form.
I've been playing Greenwood up front. He's been bagging for me.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right. Must be.
Sancho on the right. I've got Ndidi. I've got Pogba. I've got Koulibaly at centre back. You know what I mean? But I just bought like 4 men, and then I was like, yeah, I'm good.
I had to send Greenwood out on loan. I just couldn't give him enough game time because Martial, mine's like an 87. He is ridiculous. The finishing on this brother. Because Rashford's done well for me, so he's like an 87. So yeah, I don't know if FIFA's probably kicking them on a bit too much, and making them a bit better than they are. I'm Flex UTD across all of the socials. Check out my channel as well, The Flex. Got some videos coming out across the week, and also check out my Instagram live every Friday, 7 p.m. Shelling it down, 6, 7, 8 hour sets, like you name it, I'm doing it. So yeah, check out that. Just getting drunk in the living room, just vibes in. You know what I mean? It's lockdown, bro. And when I come back out of lockdown, bro, I'm holding an event. Watch, I'm doing it, bro. 100%, bro. So yeah, you're coming, you're getting drunk off the keys, bro. That's what you do. We'll see you guys same time, same place next week, man. We are out of here. Peace.